Hi, good to have you here. I wanted to talk a little bit about my songwriting process, which tends to be that I work from a kind of a microscopic level outwards. And I'm going to use one of my songs, Beacon, as an example of this process. The whole song started out with these kind of loops of sounds that I made with a Korg Volca FM. It's a 3-voice digital FM synth, and this is what I had in the beginning. So yeah, that was it. It sounds almost like hitting two stones together, which was like really intriguing. But what was more intriguing was the texture and the rhythmic quality of the sound. And this led me to here. This is an OP1, probably the suitcase piano. I made this kind of a drone on top of the kind of stone hits. And as you can hear, they kind of play off of each other in quite a fun way. So yeah, I tend to work from rhythms quite a lot, and kind of these like specific elements which kind of which tend to call upon something. This is the next layer I played with an OP1 to add some melody. So now there's a groove and a melody coming together. Then the next thing that I added was more drums. This track made with an OP1. So started out very simply with just building element by element the rhythmic quality of the song. And this is the drum element on its own. So again, it's kind of mimicking the original sound in a way that is very snappy, but this adds kind of a almost like a kick and snare to the whole thing, because it started to feel like a kind of a trip hop type of song. I wanted to have some hazy piano, so I put the like a felt piano patch on it. So the idea with this felt piano patch was to add a like a counter melodic thing to this OP1 piano patch, so they play off of each other. So yeah, I think that works quite nicely. At this point, I started to hear a melody, and I started to hear some lyrics as well. And it felt like a pretty chilled out tune, but also a kind of, it had a kind of a menacing quality to it, like a kind of a darkness, which I really liked. So I tried to like find a not just the right melody, but a way of singing and a way of processing my voice in a way that it complements the vibe.
Like a beacon, a lighthouse of love, and like how you always push me back over a wave and right on track. When I get closer, the more I feel this is unreal.
So as you can see, there's not a lot of vocal tracks on the song. It's basically just the main vocal track.
You always push me back over a wave and right on track.
But again, because I like rhythm and texture, I made this pitched down version of the vocal track.
I like how you always push me back over a wave and right on track.
So it complements the main vocal quite well. And here's another pitched up textured vocal underneath the main vocal.
This is unreal. This is unreal.
So yeah, there's the vocal tracks. So it seemed like the song was going to be this kind of a pretty laid back type of a song with all these elements, the vocals, the percussion, and the keys.
Beacon, a lighthouse of love, and like how you always push me back over a wave and right on track. When I get closer, the more I feel.
But I felt, because I knew this was going to be the first song on the album, I wanted the song to kind of shift and be a lot more aggressive. So I ended up adding more percussion and drums, which sound like this.
Beacon, a lighthouse of love.
So as you can hear, the drums are like very distorted and aggressive, because I wanted them to have weight, lots and lots of weight. And then we have this bass thing underneath the drums. Which is this heavily distorted and aggressive sub sound. And then there's a whole bunch of even more gnarly bass sounds that come in and out of the song, and the whole intro is made out of these really aggressive bass tones. But still, I feel like the whole song, even though the stone-like Volca FM percussion is really like buried deep down in the mix, you can barely hear it, as you can see. When everything else is playing.
You display all of your best parts, the soft parts.
So you can like barely hear the clicking sound, but I still feel like the whole song is moving with the original rhythmic intention, which is this. Like the whole groove is still there underneath every layer.
When I get closer, the more I feel this is unreal. This is unreal.
So I'm hoping that you can still hear the groove in those parts that I played that kind of, at least in my mind, originate from the original Korg Volga FM samples. That stone-like skipping kind of oddly timed rhythmic thing that I think gave birth to the whole song. So yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you got something out of it, and let me know if you want to know a little bit more about this song or something else relating to my songwriting or production process. Thanks. Take care.